live. This is NewsChannel 8 Today on your side.
Well, your Labor Day travel plans may be in jeopardy. The flight attendant demonstration set to begin today at Tampa International Airport and across the country.
Changes to water restrictions in several counties across our area, who will now be able to water their lawn twice a week.
And a very expensive heist in Hillsborough County. Why these berries are worth over $500,000 and the charges two people are now facing. Good Wednesday morning to you. Thanks for joining us. I'm Avery Cotton.
And I'm Chris Martinez. We'll start you off here at 4:30 with a check of your Wednesday forecast. And Lee Spann.
Yeah, it's not bad out there, but it is steamy. 79 degrees. It's at the Hyundai of Newport Richey right there at US 19. And for the most part, the next couple of hours are going to be dry. The sun's going to come up at 7:07, so we still have a little more than 2.5 hours before that happens. And then the sun sets 5 minutes before 8 o'clock this evening. Like I said, the potential for rain between now and about noon, out of the question. We may see some over here on Florida's East Coast, but our rain chance is less than 10% until lunchtime. But watch how the potential increases in the middle of the afternoon, with specifically late afternoon and evening, some heavy downpours, better rain chances than yesterday west of I-75. This is an area clearly that has a saturated ground, so if you get under a downpour, there could be some brief street flooding. I'm going to keep this fantastic scale today at about a 5 because those heavier downpours we expect late in the day. Because the storms don't start until late, we're allowed our temperatures to get up to 93, maybe 94, with heat index values well above 105. We'll talk about our rain chances through the Labor Day weekend, guys, coming up.
Thank you, Lee. Well, happening today, flight attendants with United Airlines picketing at Tampa International and airports all across the country.
This is part of their push for high TPA this morning. Good morning to you, Beth. This move comes as flight attendants learn whether they'll be taking the next step now toward a strike.
And all of this comes at very specific timing. Those tens of thousands of flight attendants with United, they're going to be holding this rally right as the Labor Day travel picks up. Again, they're going to learn the results of that vote that they took during the rally that's happening today. Again, Tampa International and airports across the country starts at 12:30 here at Tampa International. It's going to be at the Blue Express arrivals area. We're live at Tampa International Airport this morning. Beth Russo, 8 on your side.
Thank you, Beth. Developing now, a 16-year-old girl recovering in the hospital after being shot in a road rage incident in Hillsborough County. This happened on South Falkenberg Road in Riverview around 5 last night. Deputies say 2 cars were driving northbound and one driver started shooting at the other car. No arrests or charges have been released just yet.
Well, the family of a missing Polk County woman, Tanya Whipp, is voicing frustrations over the lack of new leads in the case. Whipp's boyfriend has not been charged with her disappearance, but is accused of stealing from her after she disappeared.
Oh, I seen him in the orange jumpsuit and I loved it. That's where he belongs till he takes his last breath.
Whipp's family appeared in court as Russell Carroll faced a judge for a pretrial conference. Prosecutors say he is the only suspect in Tanya's homicide investigation.
We want our presence to be known, honestly, and we're not going away. We're not going away. Somebody else is going to go away. It won't be us until we see this through.
Russell Carroll is due back in court in October. Homeowners in Manatee County working to rebuild after Hurricane Debbie continue to press county leaders for answers over unprecedented flooding.
We lost equipment. I mean, what's going to happen when the next storm comes? What are you guys going to do to help alleviate the problem that we are having?
County leaders are repeatedly telling those affected the massive flooding was not associated with any release from Lake Manatee.
The residents in Summerfield and in River Club did experience a lot of flooding, and some of that is due to the watershed that they're in. None of it was due to the dam. It'd be almost impossible for that to happen.
There was no formal response from commissioners about hurricane relief. The next commission meeting is set for September 10th. Right now, 2 people are facing felony charges for picking berries worth thousands of dollars. Hillsborough County deputies say the duo picked 800 pounds of saw palmetto berries at a farm in Ruskin. Now, it's illegal to harvest those berries in our state without a permit because of how impactful they are to wildlife. We spoke with a local apothecary about why the thieves could have turned their harvest into over $500,000 in pills.
It helps the kidney in our system and it helps regulate that.
People who illegally harvest saw palmetto plants in Florida could face up to 5 years in prison. It just became a third-degree felony this summer. Well, Sarasota Bradenton Airport has announced a new collaboration that could bring hundreds of jobs to the area.
Yeah, aircraft will be built, assembled, maintained, and sold right in Sarasota. The Swift aircraft manufacturing company Pilatus has signed an agreement, a lease agreement with the airport. This will be the first and only Pilatus facility in the country. The 54,000 square foot manufacturing plant will have a maintenance center, spare parts distribution, and new aircraft deliveries.
Job estimates on the 300 were probably on the low side, but I could easily see those numbers going up a bit as well in the future. We'll start slow as always and then ramp up.
Well, the salaries for the majority of entry-level jobs will start at $80,000. SRQ plans on working with schools to expose students to different jobs in the industry as the project comes together in the next few years. Checking in on this Wednesday morning with Lee.
All right, we'll look at Max Defender 8 because once again, there were a few downpours yesterday and everything moved toward the coast. In fact, we're still saying goodbye to some of those storms as they move farther and farther away from our shoreline. So things are quiet now, but they're still quite humid. It is 80 right now in downtown Tampa. That's the micro lumen camera as we look into downtown. So heat index values this morning are going to be in the low to mid 80s. But then the sun comes up, and boy, do those heat index values really go up quickly. It starts to feel like the triple digits by 11 a.m. and then 105, 106, 107 up until about 4 p.m. And notice how things start coming down because that's when the rain chances start going up. So while we don't see much rain until about 2, 3 o'clock, the coverage today is going to be quite high. There's going to be these pockets, especially the closer you get to the coast, where heavy rain will be possible, a little more widespread than what we saw yesterday. But we go back to lower afternoon rain chances tomorrow and for Friday. So notice you don't see those bright red colors for tomorrow afternoon. Now there's still storms, just not as widespread and not as heavy. Still going to be hot though because those storms aren't coming until later in the day. So we hit 93 today and tomorrow. Deanna, how's traffic moving?
Right now, traffic is moving. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. We are taking a live look at I-75 in that Brandon Riverview area. Northbound I-75 traffic from US 301 pretty much up to the Selman ramp and State Road 60 in the Brandon area. We have 3 lanes of I-75 northbound that are shut down. Again, that's that overnight construction we are seeing pretty much every week from Sunday to Thursday. Drive times still look really good. Now, I-75 is honestly our biggest issue. We also have active construction on I-75 southbound. This is right before the MLK Jr. Boulevard exit, so it will impact folks traveling southbound on 75 from Tampa into Seffner. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Deanne. Well, a Clearwater couple recalling how they escaped a fire on their boat, who they are thanking for their rescue.
Plus, a local organization assisting hundreds of domestic violence survivors across our area. Deanne is back to explain how they need your help in today's For the Culture.
And using pups to heal, how a local hospital is teaming up with law enforcement to train therapy dogs.
When you see news happening, report it at WFLA.com. News Channel 8's Car Wash Forecast, sponsored by Red Hoagland Hyundai, Wader Haven. Serving you for over 75 years. Visit redhoagland.com. Max Defender 8 weather is sponsored by the Law Office of Catania and Catania, putting families first. It's worth repeating, Catania and Catania.
Well, a Clearwater couple is talking about how they were saved moments before their boat burst into flames. The Brawleys say they woke up Saturday morning on the boat in Clearwater Harbor to extreme heat, and they quickly realized that boat was on fire as a nearby fisherman came.
He pulled right up alongside and he says, man, get off, get in.
What are we going to do if we can't get off the boat? We have no phones. We don't have anything. We can't call anyone. So he said, can you swim?
Yeah.
Well, the Brawleys say they are very grateful for everybody who came out and helped them. 4:45 on this Wednesday, and a local organization helping women of South Asian cultures overcome domestic violence.
In this week's For the Culture, Deanne shares the impact of Hindu Family Support Services.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So Hindu Family Support Services, they were created in 2017. A woman who moved from India escaping an abusive situation. She needed help. And after raising money and helping her get on her feet, a few locals realized South Asian women in domestic violence situations need more support.
So HFSS, they partner with the Spring of Tampa Bay to train their volunteers. Now they are also in need of some language volunteers. If you're interested in volunteering, you can call HFSS at 813-591-0250. And if you are in need of help and you want to utilize their services, you can call that same number listed on your screen.
All right, thanks, Deanne. Well, local hospital helping therapy dogs learn how they can help patients and local law enforcement agencies.
HCA Florida Highlands Hospital teamed up with the Highland County Sheriff's Office to take part of the Paws and Stripes program. Therapy dogs and their canine teams can learn how to better serve the community here. This week, 15 dogs completed their quarterly training by bringing some extra love to patients and hospital staff.
We were focusing on hospital familiarization. So that's different sights and sounds, and it's preparing the teams to help victims should they have to come here on a call. So it's acclimating the dogs to different exposures and experiences.
Organizers also say bringing the dogs to hospitals helps get them acclimated to the environment. It's a great little collaboration there, Lee.
Oh, I appreciate it. We're like right now at max Defender 8, and there are thunderstorms, but they're moving away from our shoreline. This is actually some of the rain that was left over from yesterday, where we didn't get as much downpour activity as we saw the day before. But still, if you got under one of these isolated areas, it brought that heavy rain and then eased off pretty quickly after sunset. So now things are quiet as you kick off your day. This is at the Lakeland Hyundai in Polk County. It's about 80 degrees. And yeah, for the most part, because we didn't see those big thunderstorms yesterday, most of us are warmer than yesterday. Lakeland's 3 degrees warmer than you were 24 hours ago. Tampa's 4 degrees warmer. Sarasota 3 degrees warmer. And all my weather watchers so far have checked in at 78 degrees. Joyce and Trinity at 78. Mike in Winter Haven at 78. Heard a lot of thunder, but only got about 1/3 of an inch of rain. Rich in Oldsmar is 78. He got almost 1/2 an inch of rain. And George in Sebring is at 78. He's planning on heading to the pool. But before you go to the pool, if you want to exercise, you probably want to do that this morning. It heats up between 79 and 8 to 90 by lunchtime when it's still mainly dry. Then we're really going to start firing up those storms at 4 p.m. and the storms are all going to move west toward the Gulf of Mexico. This is the same pattern we've been in, but I do think the coverage of rain is going to be more than yesterday. Everything's going to move east to west. We're dry at lunchtime, and then look at these heavier downpours really along and west of I-75, a saturated ground area, so watch for some brief street flooding. Tomorrow, we're toning back the rain chance, but the pattern is the same. Morning sunshine, storms after 2 p.m. You can just see that the storms aren't going to be quite as widespread. So we 50% today, 40% for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Back up to 60% on your Labor Day. Let's check back in on traffic.
Let's do it. Good morning, y'all. If you're waking up in the Pinellas County area right now, things aren't looking too bad. I mean, yeah, we have some active construction and a lane closure here. If you'll be traveling southbound on I-275, you're going to notice that outside right lane is blocked right near that 28th Street exit. Drive times look good, though. Less than 15 minutes moving between the Howard Franklin Bridge and the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Out in Polk County, you're off to a really nice start, too. Major roads in Lakeland like US 92 and US 98, they are fine. The Polk Parkway is clear. You're still dealing with that closure to Winter Lake Road headed westbound on the Polk Parkway, so you still want to get off on 98 instead. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Deanne. A historic SpaceX launch is postponed again when it's now expected to send 4 citizens to space.
And good news for scallopers in Pasco County. How much time you have left to catch them this season?
For the best high school football coverage in the Tampa Bay area, don't miss the Friday Night Blitz. Friday night at 11:15 on NewsChannel 8. Sponsored by New South Windows.
Well, developing now, a historic SpaceX launch set to bring 4 citizens to space has been postponed yet again. SpaceX canceled this morning's launch window due to weather conditions for the spacecraft's return to Earth. The Polaris Dawn launch has already been canceled twice this week and is now expected to launch Friday. The flight will record the effects of space radiation on the astronauts and their vehicle. The research could help SpaceX plan future missions to the moon and Mars.
Happening today, Pasco Scallop Harvest is reopening today and right in time for Labor Day weekend. The FWC says the season was temporarily closed to toxin levels found in the Pasco zone, but they're now clear. Family and friends can catch some scallops until September 24th. The zone applies to the south of the Hernando-Pasco County line and north of the Anclote Key Lighthouse in northern Pinellas County. And a Massachusetts boy whose ice cream stand was shut down has become a minor celebrity.
Yeah, 12-year-old Danny Doherty was trying to raise money for his brother's hockey team by selling homemade ice cream by his home. But one day after setting up his stand, town officials told him he was violating a state regulation and had to stop.
So this brought major attention from neighbors and local businesses who wound up raising nearly $20,000 on his behalf. Good for him and for the community for stepping in too. All right, we'll be right back on News Channel 8 today.
Closed captioning sponsored by Famous Tate.
Calling all pet lovers. Join News Channel 8 now through September 10th for the nationwide event to clear the shelters. News Channel 8 is teaming up with many shelters throughout the viewing area to help find forever homes for pets. Over 1 million pets have been helped since 2015.
You tell them, Lee.
That's right, Pickles. Visit WFLA.com for more information on how to donate, adopt, or clear the shelters.
Clear the Shelters is sponsored by Cool Today. Join Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baradelli for his interactive climate classroom. Stream it live or watch on demand.
Sponsored by ArmorView Window and Door. Trust the experts at ArmorView, the clearly stronger choice for you.
I'm News Channel 8's Jennifer Lee, and here's a look at some of the events coming up around the Tampa Bay area.
Don't miss tasty fall foods, hay rides, and the corn pit of this year's Fall Festival and Haunted Farm, Fridays through Sundays, starting September 20th at Red Family Farms in Odessa. And be among the first to scream at Busch Gardens' Howl a Scream. It returns in full force, taking over the entire park with haunted houses, scare zones, sinister shows, and more. Tampa Bay Events is sponsored by the Florida Lottery and Lexus of Wesley Chapel. It all starts with a broad perspective, a story with many layers, pursued by reporters on a mission to find answers. These are journalists who go in depth, chase the unexpected, with relentless drive to uncover the truth. Watch the news from a different angle and see why News Channel 8 is the one station always on your side.
AT&T has resolved a nationwide outage this morning. Officials with the company say a software issue was to blame and has been fixed. Several areas in the Southeast and Midwest reported outages, and several 911 lines were down as well, including to AT&T. We'll be right back with more news, weather, and traffic on this Wednesday morning.